Hi, I'm Fraser Douglas, the avid tent camper, and this is my longtime camping companion and my wife, Ava. We're camped up at Monte Sano State Park in North Alabama this week, and a couple of hurricanes are passing through the southeastern United States, so it's been an interesting trip. Ava, what do you think about this park and our campsite?
Well, I like this campsite and this park too, but the only I would like to have more kind of things to do, like a swimming pool or places where we can go fishing or something like that. But I love it, and it's close to our house, so it's a very, very good place to come.
It's close to our house and it's been very relaxing.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Well, in this video, we're going to tell you a little bit about this park and show you some of the sights and let you hear some of the sounds that we have enjoyed over this past week. Hope you enjoy.
Monte Sano State Park is a heavily forested mountaintop getaway that is located in North Alabama, about 5 miles from downtown Huntsville. The park land was acquired by the state of Alabama in the mid-1930s, developed by the Civilian Conservation Corps, and opened to the public in 1938. I first came to this park around 1955 when I was about 10 years old, and over the last 31 years I have camped in this campground about 50 times. The campground has 103 campsites organized into 2 loops. The Beddingfield Drive loop begins on the top of a ridge, slopes down into a little valley, and then comes back up to the top of the ridge again. Most of the campsites near the ridge top have sewage and therefore attract a large number of RVs all times of the year. Campsites at the bottom of this loop and on the backside are much less popular because the road is sloped and the sites are heavily shaded, making them dark and damp most of the year. The Record Drive loop is laid out along the ridgetop and is relatively flat. It has 4 sections. The entrance section is not very popular, and sites are some of the last ones to go, but it is a very good tent camping area. Most of the sites are well spaced and very flat. I've circled some of our favorite sites. The bluff section is, in my opinion, the best section in the campground because it is flat, it has beautiful sunset views in the afternoon, and beautiful views of the city lights beneath the mountain at night. The primitive area has large, well-dispersed campsites, but I've never camped in this area. The backside campsites of this section, in my opinion, are the worst campsites in the campground because most of them are very sloped. Like every other tent camping destination, this campground has some things that I like and some things that I don't like. Let me begin by telling you about some of the things that I like about this campground. First of all, it's very close to our home and to Huntsville, Alabama, so that we can easily run home or attend to personal matters anytime we need to. It is located near many great restaurants, shops, theaters, and museums. The Space and Rocket Center Museum is the most popular, but our favorites are Bird on the Mountain and Constitution Park. The park features beautiful, scenic mountaintop views, over 35 miles of trails, and many more miles of paved road, so it is a mecca for hikers, mountain bikers, and ordinary street bikers. and it's usually 5 to 10 degrees cooler up here on the mountain than it is down in the city below. Campsites are widely dispersed, so you don't have to worry about being on top of your neighbor, and it has 2 very nice bathrooms. If you're interested in the CCC history, you'll find one of the best collections of old buildings, structures, and exhibits here in this park. And finally, there's a very nice planetarium and observatory located in the park, and they offer very interesting weekend programs. My primary complaint is that there are no campground hosts in either of the 2 loops. Now, there is a nighttime attendant located up near the entrance gate, but this person is too far away from the campground to know what's going on or who may be roaming through the campground. And I've seen some shady looking men hanging around the bathroom from time to time. My second complaint is that there are very few children's and families' activities, and as a result, the campground attracts relatively few families with children. When I first visited this park back in 1955, you could rent horses and ride them on the trails, and later, in around 1990, they had weekend movies in the amphitheater, but all of that's gone now. My third complaint is that the campsite pads are relatively small for tent camping families, and they apparently have a large stone base under the crushed stone top, which makes it very difficult to drive in tent stakes, even the heavy-duty tent stakes. And finally, the campground has no bodies of water for swimming, boating, or fishing, which we especially enjoy in the hot summer months. So now let me tell you a little bit about our August 2020 trip. My son Lyle met us at the campground Sunday afternoon and helped us set up our camp. After setting up our campsite, we cooked a great steak dinner and then sat around the campsite for several hours talking about various different topics of mutual interest. After Lyle left, Ava, Lalo, and I played a few games of Go Fishing and then retired to the tent.
I thought I'd let you hear some of the night sounds at Monte Sano State Park in late August. The bugs and the frogs are very, very loud. Monday morning, I cooked pancakes and bacon and then began to notice a lot of bugs around our campsite. These walking stick bugs were all over our kitchen canopy, and Ava did not like them. We also noticed this large cicada exoskeleton on our kitchen canopy, and it appeared as though the cicada had not yet emerged from it. So we watched it for a couple of hours as it emerged from the exoskeleton. Around midday, the sky became dark and it started raining. And so we spent a lot of time inside our tent. Well, it's raining, so we're inside the tent, and I thought I'd give you a little tour of our tent. That's our front door, and there's a window next to the front door. And down by the front door, you'll see there my shoes and my stuff, and that's my side of the bed. Our bed is, we've got 3 air mattresses that makes a king-size bed. There's another window. You can see it's pretty wet because it's been raining most of the day. And as I move around, let's see, there's one of our dome ceiling lights there. And here's the back wall. There's a window there. There's Ava just kind of checking her phone messages, I guess. There's the back door. We almost never use that door, but it's nice to have. There's another dome light over there, side window, and again you can see it's pretty wet. And here's a chair so that we can sit down and relax, and here's Ava's stuff along this front wall. So there is our tent. We stayed 2 more nights, but it rained most of the time, and so we spent a lot of time inside of our tent or driving down to the city of Huntsville and doing some things down there and taking a few photos around the park. We hope that you enjoy this little video and hope that you perhaps learn something of interest about Monte Sano State Park from it. After returning home, a friend asked me if I had fun on the trip, and I had to stop and think about my answer. Now I would say yes, I enjoyed spending time outdoors, spending time with my family, and sleeping in the tent when it was raining. But the trip was also difficult. My son helped me set camp up, and so that wasn't too hard this trip. But breaking camp down, packing up, unpacking when we get home, and laying everything out to dry was very difficult, very tiring. And I'm 75 years old, and it was about all the work that I could do. And so now I need to think a little bit about either cutting back on the equipment that I take on a camping trip, or cutting back on the number of trips that I take, or just taking trips when I can have family there to help me out. To learn more about Monte Sano State Park and other great family tent camping destinations, please subscribe to this channel, visit my website, and watch this next video featured below. Thanks for watching.